The next thing I want to talk about is diversified revenue. Having a diversified stream of revenue is vital so you're not dependent on one source of income. Let me tell you about a friend of ours. Her background meant that from a young age she was dealing with life's uncertainties. She grew up very poor, with a mother who had a gambling addiction. Because of this, she knew she couldn't fall back on family when things got rough. The week after she graduated from high school, she got a job at a local book, music and video store. After 8 years, she was promoted to store manager only to be let go less than a year later because the company was failing. Netflix and Redbox had taken away the movie rental business, people were downloading music from the internet, and Amazon had become the place to buy your books. But she wasn't too worried as she was about 6 months away from getting an accounting degree. She figured she would have plenty of job opportunities after graduation, except that this was late 2008 and we were entering the Great Recession. I'm sure you can imagine how difficult it was for a new graduate with no experience to find an accounting job while banks were failing left and right. Fast forward to the start of the COVID-19 pandemic in March 2020, when she owned her own accounting firm and she had several Chicken Little clients freaking out because the sky was falling. They were asking her to cut back on services and give price reductions without even knowing how the pandemic would affect their business. She, on the other hand, knew she could weather the storm. She had learned from her past life experiences and had set herself up with multiple streams of income, and not just that, multiple streams of diverse income. It didn't bother her if revenue shrank. Most of her costs could be reduced if needed, and she had income coming from rental properties, affiliate marketing agreements, and online workshops. She also had a couple of other accounting contacts and could pick up some additional work if needed. The reason I tell people this story is to emphasize that having multiple streams of income is good, but having multiple streams of diverse income is better. As you know, having more than one childcare centre can be great for profitability, but as we've seen with the pandemic, a disaster can strike and tank all of your centres equally. This is why we like to suggest some sources of passive income to clients. This is where you invest money and reap the rewards with minimal effort on your part. Let's talk about a few of them. One of our favourite forms of passive income is rental property. We like to buy rental property in less expensive towns with a college nearby and where the population is between 50,000 to 200,000. Oftentimes people will tell us that real estate is too expensive where they live. So then we ask, why do they think they can only buy property in their immediate area? After all, passive income should be passive income. You don't want to manage your own properties. You're going to need a property manager. If you're not comfortable with the idea of an actual rental property, there are investments called real estate investment trusts or REITs. Basically, it's a partnership where you put some money into a collective pool which goes towards buying real estate. Then you receive dividends and earnings from your investment. You can invest very minimal amounts if you choose. You don't have to commit to a 20% down payment like you do on an investment property, and you can usually exit out of these agreements pretty easily, something that doesn't happen so much in real estate. The downside is you don't have any control over the properties that are purchased or all of the management details. Another option is equity investments like the stock market. Stock market investing does require a bit of research and know-how, so if you take this route, please be sure to work with an investment professional that works on fee-based invoicing. A fee-based investment professional will bill you upfront for their services, but they will not sell you investments that get them large commissions or leave you with poor returns. An additional idea is an equity investment as a silent partner. Just do your due diligence with this one. Unfortunately, we've seen so many partnerships go south. If you're looking at a private investment where you would be a silent partner, look at the business plan and make sure you feel confident enough in the business to enter this kind of agreement. Don't take someone else's word for it. Another idea is to invest in a bond ladder. Bonds are a type of fixed income security where you get regular interest payments and the whole principal is returned once the bond matures on a certain date. A bond ladder is a portfolio of bonds with different maturity dates, both short-term and long-term. This means that all of your money isn't tied up at once for a long period of time, minimizing risk and increasing liquidity. The general idea is that if you have bonds that are maturing every 3 to 6 months, with the full principal of the bond being paid to you at those times, you're not as susceptible to your money being tied up. Then, when you receive the principal, you can determine if you want to invest it in another bond to add to your bond ladder or invest it elsewhere. Another way to generate revenue is through non-passive income. This is income you receive after putting in a certain amount of effort. We understand the reality is that you are super busy running your childcare business. You probably don't have a lot of extra time to devote to many of these more hands-on income-generating ideas. But here are some non-passive income avenues you might want to consider if you have the capacity. You could write a book or manual, create a course, investigate affiliate marketing, or pursue a second business that either requires less day-to-day management or that's complementary to your current childcare centre. Some ideas for a second business include opening a storage rental centre, vending machine business, car wash, smoothie franchise, or co-working space next to your childcare centre. You could also start selling goods online, for example, gift baskets or seasonal wreaths. If you enjoy listening to podcasts, one we highly recommend is the Smart Passive Income podcast with Pat Flynn. He offers some amazing ideas for generating active and passive income you may be interested in.